Welcome to the Somatic Decoder. Did you know that uterine diseases can reflect deep emotional conflicts, just like certain biological patterns in the animal kingdom? On this channel, we explore these connections with scientific rigor and clear language, without judgment or blame. Discover real cases, physical symptoms, and their possible emotional origins. Animal analogies. How do other species handle stress? Non-invasive therapies with a biological basis. Subscribe to understand your body from a unique perspective. Share your opinion in the comments. In nature, when a mammal mother loses her young or her territory, her uterus responds predictably. It can become inflamed, develop cysts, or change its structure. This is not a mistake, but an emergency biological program to preserve her reproductive capacity. In women, something similar happens, but with an additional layer. Our emotions, thoughts, and experiences can activate these same mechanisms. What we call uterine disease, fibroids, endometriosis, cysts, is often the physical manifestation of an unresolved biological conflict. 3 key conflicts and their effects on the uterus. Conflict of, I lost my chance to be a mother. Biological response, endometrial thickening or ovarian cysts in animals. Elephants that lose their calves can develop changes in the uterus as if preparing for a new pregnancy. In women with recurrent miscarriages or difficulty conceiving often present endometrial hyperplasia, which is the excessive growth of uterine tissue. Real case. A patient with multiple IVF failures developed endometrial cysts. By working through her reproductive grief, her symptoms improved significantly. Conflict of, I live my sexuality with pain or guilt. Biological response, chronic tension in the uterine muscle known as fibroids. In animals, leopards in captivity without a reproductive partner show a higher incidence of uterine nodules. In humans, women with a history of abuse, painful relationships, or sexual repression are more likely to develop fibroids. Real case? A woman with multiple fibroids discovered they coincided with years of an unhappy marriage. After divorcing and reconnecting with her sexuality, the fibroids stopped growing. Conflict of, I am no longer useful as a mother. Biologically, this can manifest as endometrial atrophy or prolapses. In animals, for example, older gorillas expelled from the group show uterine changes, similar to early human menopause. In women, mothers going through empty nest syndrome may experience irregular bleeding or loss of uterine muscle tone. A real case illustrates this. A patient with heavy bleeding after her son emigrated improved by redefining her maternal role. Why does the uterus react this way? The uterus is directly connected to the emotional brain, the limbic system. When we experience situations that we biologically interpret as a threat to our reproductive capacity, such as infertility or miscarriages, or an attack on our sexuality, such as abuse or repression, or a loss of our maternal role, such as children leaving or menopause, the uterus activates archaic survival programs. In the modern world, this translates into medical symptoms. How to help your uterus heal. Identify the root conflict, the first fundamental step. Before any physical treatment, recognizing the triggering emotion or event is key. The body does not generate symptoms randomly. It responds to specific biological conflicts. How to do it? Look for temporal coincidences. What happened in your life? Losses, changes, stress, 6 to 12 months before the symptoms appeared. For example, my painful period started after my mother's death, or the fibroid was detected when my son left home. Ask your body, if your uterus could talk, what would it say? Phrases like, I feel useless or something was left unresolved give clues. Observe physical metaphors. A uterine prolapse could reflect feeling that all the weight falls on you. Cysts, uncried tears. Without this step, treatments can be just temporary patches. Therapies that accompany without interfering. Acupuncture regulates the energy in the meridians linked to the reproductive system, helping to reduce menstrual pain, inflammation, and hormonal imbalances. Its focus on specific points can improve circulation in the pelvic area. Homeopathy works with personalized remedies, example, sepia for uterine congestion or lachesis for cysts, addressing both physical symptoms and underlying emotional patterns, such as stress or unresolved conflicts. Conscious prevention. Notice if you have uterine contractions when recalling painful situations, or discomfort that worsens on significant dates like the anniversary of a miscarriage. Research and make informed decisions. Your health is your responsibility. Inform yourself from diverse sources before choosing treatments. Know all the options from conventional approaches, like allopathic medicine, to alternatives, like herbal medicine and neural therapy. Ask professionals, does this treatment respect my body's natural processes or suppress them? For example, hormone therapy can relieve symptoms, but does it address the emotional cause? Surgery removes the fibroid, but what about the conflict that generated it? Listen to your intuition. If a diagnosis causes panic, seek second opinions. Fear clouds the ability to decide. A real example. A woman diagnosed with severe endometriosis researched for months, combined acupuncture with nutritional changes and emotional therapy. She improved her quality of life without a hysterectomy, which was suggested as her only option. True medicine begins when we stop seeing the uterus as a foreign organ and start understanding it as a wise messenger. The uterus is not a passive organ that simply gets sick. It is an intelligent system that has evolved over millions of years to respond, with biological precision, to your experiences as a woman. The symptoms we call diseases are actually encoded messages about unresolved emotional conflicts, survival programs inherited from our mammalian ancestors, and opportunities to grow when we learn their language. 3 transformative truths. The personal is biological. Every emotion about your femininity, sexuality, or motherhood is written in the cells of your uterus. What you keep silent, your uterus expresses. Animals teach us. Like lionesses who develop cysts after losing their cubs, or elephants with fibroids after losing their role in the herd. Our bodies follow the same biological laws, only more complex due to our human consciousness. Healing is a 4-step journey. Identify the original conflict, the emotional trigger. Support with therapies that respect the natural process. Prevent by observing early signs. Research to make conscious decisions. Today we explored how the uterus, beyond its reproductive function, acts as a system of biological communication, recording emotions and deep experiences, just like in other mammalian species. If you found this content valuable, share it to spread this integrative view of health. Enable notifications for upcoming body decodings. Comment what other organ or system would you like us to analyze. Biology reminds us, every symptom is a message, not an enemy. Learning its language is the first step towards authentic health. Thank you for joining us on this journey of bodily self-discovery.